Boom, and we're live. Dave,
Sick.
yo, welcome to the In the Pocket podcast, bro.
Thank you very much.
That was a really cool jam you had there. You were
Yeah.
definitely in the pocket for most of the time, if not all the time. And I'm super honored that you're here because this is the first time I'm actually having another drummer on the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, man. And we're in Simba X headquarters. This is the studio, this is the laboratory, the kitchen, this is where we cook the magic. And so, thank you for being here, bro.
For sure, man. I'm honored.
First question.
Hit me.
What made you want to play the drums out of all the instruments?
Anger.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Anger, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
As a kid, I would always hit the table with my fingers. How did I get into it? I didn't know that I was going to be a drummer. I ended up in our place in Brooklyn, and they had a drum set, and hitting things sounded like a great idea. Better than hitting people. I'm not sure if you know of that, but
Yeah, well,
okay.
learning.
So I just remember being in that place, and the drum set was there, and guitar just seemed like a little bit more complicated.
Hmm.
So drums just seemed more of an easier instrument to sit down on and just hit things, just figure it out.
Yeah.
And then someone sat in with me a few times and taught me a few things here and there. And then I just took off running.
That's awesome, dude. So you were like one of those kids that like picked it up real quick?
Kind of. Like, I like loved it right away
Mm-hmm.
and was passionate about it. And I put time into it. I thought it was really cool. I didn't get good right away. No, it took me like a good 2 years
Mm.
practicing over and over again, learning rudiments and different patterns and numbers and everything involved in drumming, and then jamming, joining a band. I remember the first years I sucked.
Really?
From what I remember, from my understanding of drums now, like I sucked, dude. I wasn't keeping on beat. I wasn't able to keep up. I wasn't able to follow along with the other musicians. But then 2 years in, I kept at it. I kept at it. I kept at it. It was something that I wanted to be very good at. And yeah, 2 years in, I was sick.
Wow.
Now I suck.
Don't say that, bro. You're awesome. You were just jamming away on this kit, bro. Doing things I've never done before, you know? It's so
Yeah.
cool. That's why I love connecting with other drummers because there's so much that you learn just from watching a person's style, you know? We all have our go-to stuff. And so you could learn from somebody's stuff, you know?
So I get what you're saying. Like in your head, you might be looking at me like I don't suck, like I'm playing like a beast or I'm doing well. From my perspective, it's all about perspective. All of us, everything that we see, everything that we understand is all about perspective.
Yeah, I
My
get it.
perspective understands that I'm a sick drummer. I'm like a really, really good drummer, and I'm on point,
Mm,
right? Because I understand how I used to play.
okay.
So now I'm sitting down on the drum set, and I'm just off. Like my timing is off. My hands aren't doing what my brain wants them to do. Everything is off. So my perspective is usually being comfortable, being in my element, and playing comfortably with a good flow.
Mm,
My hands know exactly where to go, what to do. My brain is telling me what exactly to do. I understand what it used to be like. Back when I was good, everything would just flow. Muscle memory. Everything was good. Now it's just like, what? Huh? Like I know how to do this.
mm,
It's just it's like nothing is like adding up. It's all about practice. You gotta consistently be on the set and just play and play and play. If I would sit for a month, 2 months straight, consistently be at it and put the time in, pick up right where I left off.
nice.
Just right now I'm very rusty. Still, it's healthy.
Yeah, it's great. It's great just to get back on it. And I know what you mean by, you know, knowing that you could be doing better and so feeling like you're not doing good.
Yeah.
I get that all the time too. Even though just the 3 days of not playing can set you back, you know, in terms of feeling that fluidity
Yeah,
on the kit.
yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. So something you said about the first 2 years of playing, and right away you loved it and you had that passion for it, and that's really the key. A lot of people think like, oh, I wasn't born a drummer. I wasn't born good at the thing that I want to get good at, and so I'm not even gonna pursue it. But really, that's the wrong metric to look at. The right metric to look at is, do you love it and are you passionate about it? Because if you love something enough and you're passionate enough, you will put in the work that'll get you to be good at it. Passion far outlasts talent. Nice. So, was there like a drummer, or is there still a drummer that you look up to as like, wow, I want to be like that drummer?
Sure, sure. Um, Brian Daler.
Rand Daler.
Brian Daler.
Never even
I
heard of him.
believe
Who's
that's what
that?
his name is. Let me just make sure.
Yeah, who's this guy? Okay.
I don't have it. I believe his name is Brian Daler, and he plays for Mastodon.
Okay.
And he's really, really fast, and he's a drummer that I strive to be like, not as a person, but as a drummer. And as
Nice.
professional and as
Mhm.
good as he is, that's someone who I look up to in regards to drumming. And then there's one more, is the Tool drummer, Danny Davis. No, that's a snowboarder.
I mean, I'm sure there's many people. Danny Davis.
Danny.
But yeah, Tool
Danny
is-
something. Tool's drummer.
Tool's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's such a rhythmic band.
Yeah, Tool is next level, and it's also everything is just so off. It's it's so off.
They-
Meaning,
they
like,
break the rules.
music. Like it's just not like most bands have their 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, 32s. Then you have their bands that are mixing up the numbers, 5/7, 2/9s. Like it gets really really complicated with Tool. They're very offbeat, and
Yeah.
I relate with that. I relate with the whole, uniqueness of Tool. Tool is like really next
Yeah.
level,
Absolutely.
and the drumming that he plays is just super difficult. Like when I was at my peak, when I was doing really really good, I was excited when I was able to fully cover a Tool song.
Really.
I was like,
Did you see that kid? There's this kid. He must be 15, 16 years old. He plays through a full Tool album in one take on YouTube. There's a video of a kid playing the entire album, note for note, without a single mistake.
no, I've never seen him.
It's mind-blowing just to see somebody master something like that. And this kid is so young. He definitely put in a lot of time to that, because nobody could do that without time, but he's also definitely gifted in terms of understanding rhythm and being able to just hold on to that memory of a full album at once. I don't even know if the drummer from Tool could do that. You know what I mean?
The drummer for Tool could definitely do that. Tool's drummer is probably one of the best drummers in the world. But yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. I like what you said about the drummer from Mastodon. You said not necessarily as a person, but as a drummer.
right.
And that's something I heard Eric Moore once say. Eric Moore is like a hip hop drummer, and he said what he looks up to in drummers in general is not that their drumming skill, which is obviously cool, but just their ability to be a good person. You know, the way they carry themselves as a human being.
Right.
If a drummer is somebody who's, let's say, not destroying their life with drugs, somebody who's a father, a husband, a contributing member of society, a positive person, that's what's the word? That's admirable,
Right.
especially in a musician. You know, when you have
Definitely.
the spotlight, ego could take over, but a musician who has their feet on the ground.
So what I was saying was when I said that, like not as a person, I have no idea who these guys are.
Okay,
I don't know them.
okay,
I just know that I don't know them, so I can't really look up to them as a person.
I see what you're
I
saying.
like their drumming.
Yeah,
Drumming is great. But definitely for sure.
yeah,
A father, a mother, a father, a husband, all that for sure, dude.
yeah. It's cool.
Because I believe also, from what you're saying, is that music comes from the soul, from the heart,
Mm.
and even to those people that are listening to music, if it's from a pure place, I believe it'll have a good effect on that person that's listening to
Oh.
the music. Because if the person that is creating the music has good intentions at heart, the person listening to the music is going to receive those intentions because it's all energy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If someone has bad energy through their music towards other people, and people that are listening to their music, they're going to feel that bad energy.
Yeah.
You know, then that ties into lyrics and whatever. But
You're saying even on the drums.
even on the drums, I believe, yeah,
Yeah.
because you can hear the way that somebody plays.
Mm.
Is if he has a happy-go-lucky attitude, or if this guy is angry, or if he's sad, you can hear it
Hmm.
for sure.
It's very interesting. I'm currently exploring the depths of drums and how one can express their authentic self on the drums. And so it's very in line with what you're saying. It's an energetic thing, but drums are the most unique instrument in terms of expression because you're not expressing a tune. When you can play a melody, you could kind of convey a specific feeling,
Right.
you know, whether you're in the major or the minor. On drums, it's pure just impact. It's
Yeah.
pure like rhythm. Like how do you portray a feeling within rhythm? It's a very complicated thing, but it's doable because rhythm is about movement and movement is energy in movement, right? That's what emotion is energy in motion. So movement, when you're creating a rhythm and you're creating movements within people, you could create an energy shift or an energy flow.
Yeah, yeah. I was reading what you wrote.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's why people love drum circles and those kind of things. And in ancient times, like the shamans were drummers. You know, there was a drum circle that brought people into alternative states of mind.
Never been in a drum circle, but
Hmm.
it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I've actually seen how like some people would be in the drum circle with the drum set, and then somebody will have a bongo and somebody will have a djembe. Like you can mix up the drums.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is music to you?
Music to me is joy, I believe.
Hmm.
Music brings joy to me. Like when I listen to music, I haven't in the past 3 years. Now that I'm married and I have a daughter and I have responsibilities and I don't have much time to really get out to jam. Even though I have my drum set sitting in my basement, I set it up one time and I played maybe 4 or 5 times since 4 months ago that I set it up. Just don't have time. So it's very hard for me to get down there and play. But listening wise, like I'm looking for joy. I'm looking to sing like my heart out to what I'm listening to and just good vibes.
Hmm.
That's music. Music to me is good vibes.
Nice.
Joyous to be. And don't get me wrong, I'm a metalhead.
Hmm. Right, I was thinking that.
listen
Like,
to
how do
that
you find joy in
heavy-
that?
Right, so I listen to that heavy stuff. Now, it's not always that I'm listening to that heavy stuff. Most times I'm tuning into the emotions that I'm going through at the time. I'm going through an emotional roller coaster right now, but so I'm like going from metal to reggae to classic rock to trance, you know? Only because I'm on an emotional roller coaster at the moment. But when I'm feeling an emotion of like I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm usually listening to metal. Putting on a metal song. And I'm wailing out. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm angry and I'll listen to reggae to get me out of the anger. So I use music
Mm.
to help myself get through my emotional states.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
really
it's a good
interesting.
tool. Music is a very, very good tool.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, along the same lines, I definitely feel that and I relate to that. And another thing that I relate to in music is that it's connection. Music is a way to connect. And like you were saying before, like with the musician and their intentions and their energy, you know, you're connecting with that energy that they put into it, but also connecting with yourself through the music, like using the tool as a way, using music as a tool, as a way to feel your emotions and through a beautiful way.
Right.
You know, the music makes it beautiful, kind of gives a soundtrack to your emotions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's cool.
And then back in the day when I was, when we were addicts, I don't know, users, whatever you want to call it. That was a way of expressing our emotions, not in a healthy way. It was a way of feeling better. So, and it was a temporary solution to a long-lasting problem. Music is something that's very healthy and you can use as a continuous solution. I don't think that it's a solution to your problems, but it definitely helps you get through. Right? Because everybody struggles in life, and music is a beautiful thing, and it helps uplift everyone.
Yeah, and especially for musicians themselves.
Right.
Right? Anybody could benefit from listening to music, but to express that music, like you said, getting the anger out and any other emotion that you want to get out. I've definitely released joy on the drums. I've released sadness on the drums, and you could actually hear it in the playing. So it's very true what you're saying. But yeah, that's so on that note of being addicts, and I just say addicts to just call it that, because it's something to call it. And I personally do identify as an addict because my behavior has shown me that I am an addictive behaviors.
Okay.
And I'm working a 12-step program actually to deal with that. And that's actually the solution per se. It's actually it's the healing process through which I address the issues at the core, as opposed to covering it up with drugs or music or anything else that's a distraction, even if it's not destroying my life. But addressing my pain head on is really what's been helping me. And I know you've been dabbling in recovery or thinking about it. And by the way, we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. We can edit this out.
I have nothing to hide from anyone.
Okay.
I'm an open book.
Yeah, I would love to hear about your journey with recovery now, in the past, and where you see yourself going. I apologize, guys. We had a problem with the camera and the conversation got cut early. So we were unable to finish that episode. But if you want to see Dave, the drummer, back on the Pocket Podcast, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll be sure to get him back. For now, I'm wishing you guys a great week, a week in the pocket, a week of celebration. This is Simba X. See you next time.